welcome to MandoBug Crafts, episode 38. I am MandoBug, but you can call me Amanda if you want. Welcome, new viewers, for coming and checking everything out, and thank you to returning viewers for continuing to come back every week, or every other week, whenever you decide to stop by. It's fine with me. Everyone's got busy lives, I completely understand. So, starting out with something I learned. This week I learned how to put in snaps, and this is pretty interesting because it's similar to putting in grommets, which I had done in a corset I made once, but I don't know, I feel like putting in snaps are harder, or at least the kind of snaps I used. There are sew-in snaps, but I went with the, I don't know what you want to call this. I got this snap fastener kit. There we go. And it's funny because you can see down here it says it came with 16 pieces. Yes, 16 pieces. I thought 16 snaps because there were a lot of pieces in there. No. There are 4 pieces to 1 snap. So it only came with 4 snaps. And I needed 9. So I'm going to have to go back and get more later. But you end up with these pieces. Oh, they're really small, so I don't know if you can see them. I mean, you know what a snap looks like. And so you'll find the sides that work together, and then you get a whole bunch of these guys. They have little teeth on them. And you end up hammering through the material into a side of one of these snaps. And they give you a little anvil. It's got a little hole in it, which works well on the side that sticks out. But you end up putting it on the piece, layering everything like you need to, and then bang, bang, bang. And so, I mean, you definitely, this is a 16-ounce hammer. I'm not very strong, so it's nice to let the weight of the hammer do the bulk of the work. But you do have to hit pretty hard for it to go through and bend the metal like it's supposed to. So, what was I putting snaps on, you were wondering? Well, I bought a pattern this weekend from Mama Can Do It. You can find her website at mamacandoit.com, but I bought her pattern on Etsy. It was an instant download sewing pattern. So, it was about $6.50 for the pattern, but you get these 3 optional designs: the long sleeve, the no sleeve, and the short sleeve onesies. But they come in newborn to 36 months. And I didn't know this until, I mean, because I probably didn't read, but I didn't know this till I already bought it, because newborn to 36 months, that's enough for $6 for me. But not only does it come in a fitted size, it also has all those sizes in comfy size. So it says if your baby's got a little extra love handles, maybe you should make the comfy size. So it's a little baggier, unlike the traditional fitted size, which is what you'll find in the stores. So I took a stab at these onesies this weekend, and I finished one. I didn't finish them all because I ran out of snaps, right? And I just didn't get to the store. But here's the first one that I made. And I made these in newborn size. So look how little. And this Tweet Dreams is an iron-on that I got on sale. Hobby Lobby, I think. So this was actually a really nice iron-on. Like, I've used iron-on letters in the past that are cheap and they don't transfer completely, and I mean, it could have been user error, but I feel like when I used this iron-on transfer, it transferred, and it's really thick. I don't know if you can tell. It's not like a thin kind of transfer material. Well, you iron it, and then you let it cool off for a minute, and then when you peel it, there was actually a part where I was peeling it, and it almost ripped the material of the onesie because, like, it was stuck to the onesie, but I was peeling it away and it was gonna rip the material away from itself. So I mean, it's on there. So 71 cents, I could beat that, but of course it was on sale. But thought this was really cute. I thought that it turned out pretty well. I mean, it looks like a store-bought onesie, and she has patterns for if you have a serger, or well, gives you directions for if you have a serger, and since I don't, there's also directions for that. So you get these nice finished edges, even if you don't have a serger. I thought the directions were really easy to follow. I'm really happy with the way everything turned out. I got a little bit of pucker on the back shoulder of this one. Oh well. But the only thing that I wasn't really a fan of is the bottom. So I have snaps. I'm unsnapping it. Sorry. So there's snaps on the bottom for closure, but as you can see in the pattern, she has you use, because this is like a knit fabric, she has you use a woven fabric to kind of finish the edge and put the snaps on so that it's really durable for these snaps. But I didn't have any matching fabric, and it's not that it shows on the outside, but it shows on the inside, and I don't know, that maybe that's just the perfectionist screaming out in me, but I was not a fan. So hold on a second, I have a cat scratching at the door and it's killing me. What? Sorry about that. So I ended up just instead of doing that, I ended up putting interfacing on it to thicken it up, and then I folded the edge over. But Harvey, guess he just wants to say hi. But oh, sure enough he does. Hi, baby. So it doesn't have like a finished look because that's not the way that she intended the pattern to go. You get more of a finished look with the woven pattern, the woven fabric that you add, but like I said, I didn't have any, so I just kind of improvised, which is really, Harvey, goodness, which is really my own deal. I probably should have followed the pattern, but I think I'll figure out a different way to tackle this on the next one I do. So I finished this one, and then snap, snap, snap. So I finished this one, and then I was also getting close to finishing this one, which I realized I didn't have enough snaps for. But this pattern's really cute, and I actually have a blanket, a baby blanket that I made with the same fabric, and I have leftovers, so I'm going to make some burp cloths with the terry cloth on the back, and then probably some pants and a hat. So so I did the long sleeve on the newborn because I've told pretty much everybody, so I can share with you guys. Josh and I are expecting, and the baby will be due in December. Well, December 31st, so maybe January. But so it'll be cold, so I wanted to do long sleeve newborn onesies since it will be cold out. And I'll probably make matching pants, and then maybe a matching little hat. So I have those two, and then I cut out material to make one in this print too, but I wanted to sew it with a cream thread because you do some zigzag top stitching to kind of finish your seams. So I didn't want to use white thread for that, and I didn't want to keep changing the thread out of my machine, so I decided I'd do this one separately later. But I was really enjoying sewing this pattern this weekend, and I don't have a lot of experience sewing clothes, so it's nice to sew little clothes. It's not a big deal if I mess it up, and it really gets me some practice. Like putting the sleeves in, that was interesting, but she's got a nice way of doing it because when you look at the way the pieces are cut, you're like, oh, that's not going to fit, but she shows you that it's easier to start from the middle and sew to the end, and then come back and do the middle again to the other end. and doing that I think helped quite a bit, but after doing that a couple times I figured out I could just go from one end to the other if I just kind of, I didn't pin the materials, I just sewed a little bit and then moved it and then sewed a little bit and then realigned it, and that worked fine. So, but I'm really happy with those. Moving on to my works in progress. So I haven't really done a lot this week. I did a little bit more progress on my corner to corner baby throw. I was probably here. So a couple more rows. I'm starting the next stripey repeat. This is the corner to corner crochet throw. I have it linked on my project page. Yeah, corner to corner throw. It's a nice, easy, quick throw. And I think I've mentioned before, I'm not really sure where the origins of it come to, so I just linked to one of the ones I found on Ravelry. It's a free pattern, it's a lot of fun. If you like to crochet, check it out. Because it's a nice little texture, but it's an easy pattern to memorize. And then I also, I covered it. I've also been working on stitching up that embroidered nursery book. And I finished stitching all the animals. So I think I left off with the turtle last week. So I finished the horse. His eyes turned out kind of creepy. I don't know how I feel about that. And then I did the bird. Same thing. I don't know. Maybe I just embroidered creepy eyes. But I feel like this bird looks like the bird from Snow White too. And then a kitty. I'm not sure how I feel about the kitty being gray, but it's still cute though. Oh, and his eyes are closed, and that took me a minute to figure out too, because I'm like, why are his eyes creepy too? And then a puppy, who you can tell his eyes are closed. He's just a sleepy little guy. And then finally, fish. So now that I have them all stitched, I need to go back and stitch in their names, because I left the names blank, and I'm going to stitch in the name and then cut it out and start stitching the book together. So I think I've been doing a lot of stitching this week. I don't know, I think that's just what I've been into this week, because I also pulled this out, and this has been a very long, slow-going project. This is one of those kits you can get from a craft store for a felted Christmas stocking. And my mom had one when I was little, and I always really envied it. Her grandma made it for her, and it was the coolest Christmas stocking. So I've decided that I'm going to make Christmas stockings for me and my husband, and I don't know if I'm going to make one for the baby since it's due after Christmas. I'll probably wait till the next year, because these take a long time to make, but I've put the scarf on. So I had to embroider all the white, add the beads and sequins in the fringe, and then sew it down. So it was killing me. It's a very slow going project, but I am really close. I just have to add some snow to the bottom with some holly, some snow to the top with some holly, embroider my name, and he's going to be holding a string of Christmas lights, and then he will be finished. But this project I had fun making in the morning. I would sit down with a cup of coffee and just kind of stitch here and there. So, been enjoying that. And I think that's all I have for works in progress, yeah. So moving on to finished objects. Nope. My only finished object is this guy. Oh, it's so cute. It's so little. So moving on to current events. So I am hosting a mindful spin-along, which you can check out in the MandoBug Crafts Ravelry group. And I started my second bat, but barely. Like, I barely got anything on there. So it's not worth, bringing my wheel in and showing you guys. But I have stripped the bat into these pieces, which I was going to tell you about. The bat was like, really long, and I just tore it into these thinner pieces because it's easier for me to spin it that way. The way this bat is blended was evenly across the whole thing, longwise and widthwise, so it doesn't really matter how you break it up or how you spin it because it will be relatively the same. So I have a whole bunch of little pieces that I'm going to be spinning up. I just haven't felt like spinning lately, so I ended up doing that little bit, and then I pulled out this guy. So, moving on to upcoming events. Oh, you know what? I skipped Check It Out. So for Check It Out this week, because I was sewing the onesies, I ran across a Ravelry group called Sew Obsessed. If you like to sew or are interested in sewing, you should go check it out. They have monthly challenges where you challenge yourself to sew a certain type of item, but it's like a broad category, so you don't feel like you have to sew a specific pattern. It's like, oh, this month we're going to do dresses. I think it's dresses this month. I don't know. But, and those are just challenges for fun, and everyone shares what they want to do and their progress and what they've learned, and it seems to be a great sewing community that's on Ravelry. So if you're interested, you should go check it out. So upcoming events. I don't have anything for upcoming events. I think I mentioned last week the Frosted Pumpkin Citchery, the Mysterious Halloween Town Club. I think that's what it is. First clue comes out tomorrow. I'm super excited. I got all my floss wound up on little bobbins on a little ring, and should probably fold my fabric up and mark the center so I know where to start. And I'm probably going to be stitching that at work. I hope. Maybe not. But that's all I got for you guys this week. I know it's mostly sewing and stitching, but hey, MandoBug crafts. I do lots of things. I don't just knit. So I hope you guys made something awesome during this episode, and I will see you next week. Bye!